Hello and welcome to the Washed DraftKings FanDuel and season long fantasy picks. I am your co host, Michael Embrich, joined by my partner in crime, former Miami Dolphins wide receiver and Rutgers GOAT with a capital G, Leonte Carroo. How are you doing today, Leonte?
I'm doing great. I always love your introduction, Mike. Appreciate you, baby.
So we're gonna jump right in today. I want to check my levels, and they look good. We're gonna jump right in today. We're doing our mock draft, season long fantasy draft. Leonte versus me, and about 8 bots. So let's see how we fare. The draft's gonna pop up on your screen now. So who are you gonna pick for your first pick and why?
Yeah, the first pick I'm taking Jamar Chase. He's coming off a triple crown year. I think he's going to have another successful year again. Like I told you before, once you get paid, you play better. He just got paid, and I think he's going to have a tremendous year with his quarterback from LSU, his old roommate, his buddy, his best friend, and I think they're going to connect for a lot of touchdowns this year. They also re-signed T. Higgins, so I think a lot of um, defenders are gonna, you can't really shell those guys. You can't put two safeties over the top. You kind of got to play man. So I think Jamar Chase is gonna be really good. So I'm taking Jamar Chase with my first pick.
So my first two picks are going to be running backs, and I just feel like this is going to be a year where there's going to be a lot of value at wide receiver. I think there's going to be a lot of receivers who pop off, so you'll probably be able to do well in trades later on. I don't think running backs are going to see this be the same way. I think those top seven studs we talked about in episode 2
Yep.
are probably going to be the guys you're going to want, and I'm going to go try to get both of them in this draft for my first two snake round draft picks. So we're going to start the draft. It's going to pop up on your screen.
Yep.
And here we go, Leonte. You're on the clock.
Here we go. I'm on the clock. I am taking Jamar Chase. Like I said, he's gonna have a hell of a year.
So I'm really toured between Bijan Robinson and Gibbs, but I really got to go with Bijan. I feel like he's just a prime time guy. He's going to have a great season. And you see the bots are kicking in, and they're picking Gibbs is already off the board. They picked Hurts in the first round. I don't agree with that necessarily.
No.
Bowers went early. That's a no brainer, I think. And I'm back on the clock, and I'm going to pick Derrick Henry. No brainer there. Leonte's on the clock.
I am back on the clock. I am looking to go running back. Or let me see. I might go receiver again. I am going to take Devon Achan, actually.
Okay. So I'm gonna circle back to receiver. I have if you actually have two picks in a row
Yep.
because you're the
I'm going
snake.
again.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna take Brian Thomas from the Jaguars. He's coming off a hell of a rookie year, and I think he's gonna do well. I like this pick a lot.
I pick him because you're running out of time. And thank you for that because I was going to skip him and pick Nico Collins anyway, and I'm going with Nico. I think Nico's going to have an explosive year. I think he's going to be probably one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league this year.
Mm.
PPR anyway for points per reception and touchdown and stuff like that. What you need for fantasy football, folks? It's all about the touchdowns and the catches.
Next round, I'm going tight end. You're on the clock.
I am. I'm going to stick with receivers. I'm going to skip McLaurin because who knows where he's going to end up.
Yep.
He could end up with a slouch ass quarterback. I don't want T. Higgins. I'm going to go with my boy Mike Evans, all reliable.
Nice. Okay, I am gonna go tight end. Actually, he's on the board. You can't pass him up. I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill with this pick right here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't
You can't,
hate it. I don't hate it. I
and I'm
mean,
back on the clock, so I'm
it's your
just gonna
third
take.
round.
I'm gonna take Sam Laporta right now.
I don't hate that either. I think that's a great pick. I want to see what tight ends are left. I don't really love any of these guys,
Yep.
so I'm gonna take Justin Herbert because he's gonna disappear.
Yeah, I'm going quarterback. This is the sixth round. I'm going quarterback here.
Guys are flying off the board, and this is how all your fantasy drafts are going to be if the people you play with have any sense at all. And this is going to be a really quick draft. I'm on the board again. I need a tight end desperately now, and all the ones that were up there kind of are still there. The ones I would have picked anyway. I'm going to fade Kelsey. You might think I'm crazy, but and I'm going to fade Mark Andrews because I think their backups, Gray and Likely, are going to get a lot of the work, and I think Hawkinson is going to be the guy who gets most of the work out of those guys.
Nice. So I'm going quarterback here.
Mhm.
He has an explosive offense. This guy's gonna have a ton of fantasy points. I'm going Jared Goff,
Yeah, great pick. Great pick. Yeah, I'm surprised he's still around. You're
and
actually
I'm
doubling up.
back. So now I'm gonna take a running back because I only have one, and I am going to go with a guy that's old reliable, and I am going to pick DeAndre Swift.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with a flex player here. And Mixon's probably never coming back. And we did warn you on episode 2 to stay away from him. So if you listen to us, you probably are not going to lose your fantasy draft now because Mixon went out in practice with an injury that it's a mystery to most people.
Yep.
So for my flex, I'm going with DJ Metcalf, the beast of all beasts, in my opinion.
Mm.
So I got him. I can't believe he's still available. And we're flying through this draft right now. Connor just went off the board, Justin Fields. So we're getting down into those rounds. These are the hardest rounds to pick, in my opinion.
Yep.
I mean, it really comes down to what you know about the player and their offensive scheme and how much work they're going to get.
You're back on the clock.
I'm back on. I'm going to go with a defense. And guess what? My Eagles are right there, and that's exactly who I wanted. I'm picking the Eagles. We know they're going to have 10 guys rushing the quarterback.
I'm gonna wait for a defense actually because he's still on the board, and I am going to take Jalen Waddle.
Well, okay.
I've been seeing his training camp. He looks really good, and I'm going to go back to back with the defense now, and I'm going to take the Broncos defense.
Yeah, look, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. I mean, I think at home they're always a very dangerous defense.
You're back on the clock.
I am, and I need another tight end because my other tight end's going to have a bye week, and I'm going to need someone to fill in for him. And guess what? Mark Andrews is still on the board. I'm going to take my man Mark Andrews.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah. And guys are flying off. We're down to the Calvin Ridleys, the Jordan Addisons, the Pachecos of the world. Although I wouldn't have picked them that early. Tony Pollard, he had a disappointing year last year. I think
Yeah.
Pollard still got some juice left, so certainly not forgetting about him. Let's see rookies. Let's see what rookies are left. This is gross. All right, I'm going back to flexes. I'm gonna pick Jordan Love as my backup. You talked me into him. My backup quarterback.
I am going to take a rookie, and I like the receiver from Tampa Bay.
Okay.
He's been having a hell of a training camp. I am taking Mbuka.
Mbuka, Abuka.
Yeah, I'm taking him. And I'm back, so I'm going to go tight end now. I'm going to go tight end because I only have one, and I am going to take Ferguson from the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. I don't like waiting too long for tight end because I can never pick tight ends right. I'm just bad at tight ends. Now, would you go? So in these rounds, you got to start thinking about your backup players now and guys who are going to be getting burned because they're on terrible teams.
Yep.
And I'm going to go with. Seems like everybody's trying to leave the Washington Commanders, and Debo's going to be the only one left. So I'm going to pick Debo Samuel.
Nice. I like that actually.
Yeah.
Can't believe he was still there.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if he can get in shape, he can be the old Debo again. I'm convinced of that. I can't believe Ayuk was still on the board. That's surprising to me. All right, I'm back on the clock. Steph Diggs is still on the board. Why? I'm taking. I don't know. Cooper Cuppers. I'm taking Steph Diggs. See, this is what I meant with the receivers. You can get a lot of value. Look how many good receivers are still on the board.
Yeah. I'm going to take I have back-to-back picks. So I'm going to take a running back here. I'm going to take White from Tampa Bay. He gets in a lot on third downs. Catches a lot of screen passes. He's really talented. I think he's going to back up Bucky Irvin really well. So I'm going to take White right here.
Sure.
And then coming back, I am going to I think new team. Think he's due for a big year. Actually, I like this pick right here. I think he's due for a big year. He had a really bad rookie season. He has the least amount of separation from DBs in the NFL, but I think he's going to do really well this year. And you have Josh Allen, so I'm going with Keon Coleman.
Excellent. So I'm going to flip back to a flex. I think it's so Cup and Shakir. Who would you pick and why?
I think I would go with Shakir. He's
Yeah.
he's younger. He seems to be like Josh Allen like scapegoat when he's running out of the pocket and he just needs something to find. He's always there. He's always available. He's a very talented player.
Yeah, so now we're going to start discussion more of why we're picking because those first 11, 12 rounds were just kind of no-brainers.
Yep.
But now you have to really start thinking about what guys you want and why you want them,
Yep.
not just the best and next, which the first 6, 7 rounds, that should always be your pick, the best on the board and the position that you need, which is how they do the draft really, right, Leonte?
Yep.
Um, I mean, besides the fact that they interview you and make you go insane, as we talked about before. Isaiah Likely's still on the board here. I'm really tempted to take him, but I already have 2 tight ends. So I am going to choose. All right. Well, we'll go with Benson in Arizona. He'll probably get some burn. I don't see their starting running back staying in. So.
All right. Here I'm thinking about going flex. I like the guy from the Giants, Wendell Robinson. He's a
Okay.
good slot receiver. Yeah, with a lot of tension being on Neighbors this year, I could see this guy going off. So I'm going to take him there.
Okay.
And then I have back-to-back picks. So I am going to go with a running back or maybe a receiver. Maybe a tight end.
Yeah, like you're gonna need one for a. So you're gonna need two. You're gonna need two.
I like
defenses.
Gesicki. I'm going Gesicki right here.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm surprised he's still up there.
Going with my boy.
You're gonna need 2 defenses and 2 tight ends for the because you only get one of those picks for their bye week. And I mean, any receiver you can pick as a flex.
So we need another defense or no?
You do, but I usually just wait till the last pick because
which is coming
I mean,
up.
unless you want to not have a defense for a week and then you miss those points.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter because some defenses are going to give you a 0 anyway. But I mean, it's really kind of up to you and the guys you're playing with. Yep. I'm gonna pick Eckler because, like I said, everybody's leaving Washington, and who knows who's going to be left at the end of the day. So maybe Eckler will get some burn.
Did you take another defense though?
I'm about to with my last pick.
Oh, okay. Everybody's taking defense.
Yeah, I think everybody just wait because defense are really a toss-up unless you feel really good about somebody like the Eagles. You know they're going to be rotating 10 guys in and out on that front four, and what they did in the Super Bowl was a masterclass in how to rush the quarterback. Like you said, they made Pat Mahomes look like a damn JV quarterback. I'm just going to pick the Buffalo Bills because why not?
I'm going to take the. I mean, wow, I can't believe they're still on here. I mean, you can't go wrong with them. I'm going to take the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. You know they're going to get it. So the draft is over. We're going to go over our teams and do a little bit of breakdown of that. If you pick the team column here, we'll go with my team first.
Yep.
So as my starting quarterback, I have Justin Herbert, which I love. And his receiving core is going to be Nico Collins and Mike Evans on game day. His starting tight end will be T.J. Hawkinson. My flex player will be DK Metcalf. And my super flex won't be Mark Andrews, but he's showing now. I'll probably switch him out. My running backs, I think I'm most excited about. I have Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry. I think that's probably where I'm going to get most of my points this fantasy season. But this is our mock draft. But if this is our real season, I'm very satisfied with my picks. I'm satisfied with my backups. I think guys like Diggs and Debo and Shakir and Jordan Love, if you can get them in late rounds like we did in this draft, go for those guys, the guys who are proven leaders, because when people start falling throughout the season through injuries or whatever, those are the kind of guys that you're going to want on your team. So any you can pull up my team if you want to see it on your screen. Any commentary on my team? How do you feel about it? And
I'm looking at
something different.
Looking at both of our teams, we actually didn't get backup quarterbacks. Both of us.
No, I did. I got Jordan Love.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I screwed up. I didn't get a backup quarterback.
Yeah, you should have done that, but that's all right. Because sometimes the especially in a season long, don't feel bad about that because sometimes this has happened to me more times than I can really remember. My starting quarterback got hurt, and then my backup was on a bye.
Yeah.
And then I had a backup on a bye for 2 bye weeks. I had no quarterback for 2 weeks. So at the very least, you're going to be missing 1 week. Who's your starting quarterback? It's Goff.
Yeah, I have Goff.
Yeah.
So to go over my team, I have Goff at quarterback. I mean, that offense, he has the players for it. He's going to have a ton of fantasy points. I'm actually very disappointed in my running backs. Devon Achane is at one point was everyone's like number 1 pick. You know, he does get a lot of fantasy points. It's just he's playing for the Dolphins, who I played for. You never know what you're going to get out of that team. DeAndre Swift, they got a new offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. So whoever's the running back on the Bears, I just think they're going to have a ton of opportunities to have the same opportunities that Montgomery and Gibbs had last year. So that's kind of why I went with those. I am very pleased with my wide receivers, though. I mean, Jamar Chase, Brian Thomas. I went with the two LSU boys. I think they're very talented. I think they're probably two of the most, probably definitely top five skill receivers in the NFL. My tight end is Sam Laporta. Very excited about that. And then I doubled up with two Dolphins players, two receivers with Tariq Hill and Jalen Waddle, because I figure if one is going off, the other one might not be going off. So I think they're going to piggyback off each other. So and then as far as my bench, I'm really happy with the guys I picked. I mean, on my defense too, Denver Broncos defense, they're probably the number one defense in the NFL last year. They have the defensive player of the year and Patrick Surtain. So I'm really excited about that defense. And then my bench is just very young, but I think very talented. Keon Coleman, Rashad White, Jake Ferguson, and Emeka Ibuka are just all talented young guys that I think are going to do very well this year in this league.
I see like people who are like, I guess this week the big news um, was that the wide receiver from the Washington Redskins, um,
Requested a trade.
yeah, and he was their top guy. We all know how talented he is in the Eagles game last year in the playoffs. He did tremendously.
Yep.
But all the teams that he's looking to land on, like people saying, like teams that don't need another receiver. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. If they're going to be running four wide. I guess. Like
Yeah.
it's like the Lions,
Yeah.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Yep.
and like uh Cincinnati and like a couple others. But like I mean, if he landed in Buffalo, I could see him really
Yeah.
making a difference there.
To go over your team really quick, I
Yeah,
mean,
and just tell me what you love and hate, and then I'll go over
your
yours.
two running backs are incredible. I mean, if you want to talk about a mock draft, like you would want to get these two guys at running back. I think you sealed the deal right there. I think your quarterback, you really sealed the deal. I mean, he's arguably top five quarterback in the NFL. He's really really good. Your receivers, like I'm not. I mean, we talked about this on the show before. You have really a high ceiling for Nico Collins this year. I really don't. I think
Okay.
I think he declines a little bit. He had Stephon Diggs. He had Tank Dell to kind of back him up, and teams really didn't know really about Nico Collins. I think he just came on the scene last year. I think that now that teams know about him, they're not just going to be letting him run wide open on post routes like he was last year. So I'm not really high on Nico Collins. Mike Evans, I think, is the old reliable. I mean, he's a guy that's he's gonna do what he can, but the thing is he's going into like year 12. So just don't know what you could get out of him. I mean, you got DK. Looking at your team, I would say you got like the old reliable guys that are like really really good, but like OGs in the league right now. I mean, besides Bijan, but Derrick Henry's an OG, Mike Evans is an OG, TJ Hawkinson's an OG, Mark Andrews is an OG. Yeah, but I really do like your team. I think you have one of those teams where if you look at it on paper, besides Bijan and Derek, you might say, but these are the type of teams that score a ton of points because they're reliable guys.
Yeah, and I mean, I think going into this, like all of my season wide draft and all my best ball drafts that I did, I wanted to go in with I went in with the a strategy to really get my running backs out of the way early because there's not a lot of running backs that are going to really bust out this year. And if you can get your hands on the guys that get all the volume, like a Derrick Henry or Bijan Robinson,
Yep.
like basically you're getting like 15, 20 handoffs and two or three passes to them every single game guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like those are the kind of guys you want on your offense. And as far as receivers go, you kind of just see who's left. And if you have a good feeling, like I do feel that Nico's going to have a better year than he had last year, and he had a really good year. But I gave myself enough options where I could, if these guys are getting hurt, like Mike Evans in his 12th year, if
Yeah.
Mike Evans doesn't have his 12th consecutive 1,000 yard season, which everything goes to tell us that he will because he's done it so many times before. But who knows? What if he tears his ACL and he's done for the season? That's why I kind of left my guys open, like with the Stephon Diggs, the
Yeah.
Debo Samuels, the Shakirs, the guys who are going to be getting work,
Yeah.
that are going to be getting work. And here's the thing: so for your season long, you could actually trade throughout the season.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go get another quarterback, if you're not 100% satisfied with your draft, make a trade. I'm probably going to trade. I'm probably going to hold Mark Andrews. So what I did was did I pick likely? No, I didn't. I thought about it,
Yeah.
but I have three tight ends or two tight ends who could start on most teams. And if someone's really disappointed with their tight end, and I also have a few running backs like Eckler and Benson who could start on other teams. Maybe guys
Sure.
just picked receivers and quarterbacks first. I'm going to leverage those guys to maybe get a young wide receiver.
Not a bad idea.
But like that's it. You'll have to see how the season plays out. If somebody's one wide receiver goes down the first round or one tight end, and they only picked one tight end, they don't have a bye tight end. You better believe, as opposed to going throughout the whole season without a tight end
Yep.
or picking up a guy who's going to have 0 points because they don't play,
Yeah.
they're going to be they're going to make a deal, and you're going to get the better part of that deal. So I
I,
want to look at your
one more thing about
yeah. Go ahead.
your team really quick. Tell us why you went with no rookies.
I think, but so I did briefly look at the rookie queue. I think you guys saw that while we were drafting,
Yeah.
and I don't think there was anybody left that I would have taken a chance on.
Okay.
I mean, not for a season long. Like in week 2, week 3, we'll kind of know what kind of looks and how the offenses have been kind of charted out to get rookies involved.
Yep.
But if there's a rookie that just had a shit training camp and they're sitting on the bench, we won't know that until the
Yeah.
games start. Like if this guy gets
That
0
was me.
targets.
That was me. I hope you guys didn't draft me 2016.
I think it would be stupid to pick any unproven rookie, other than I mean, like we were looking at film.
Genti, right?
Yeah, of Genti
Yeah.
this week, and I mean, he just looks great. So I wouldn't hate you if you took a chance on
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But there wasn't
Not
any,
with your first
yeah,
pick
there's
though. Like,
yeah, there's not, and I actually don't hate Emeka Egbuka. I think that we're gonna be saying his name correctly through because we hear his
yeah.
name a lot this
Yeah.
season. So we'll get the pronunciation right. Sorry there, Mr. Ibuka. But yeah, like I said, and you could always trade, right? Like if a rookie's busting, but for weekly fantasy, which we'll talk a lot more about as the weekly fantasy comes, it's actually a bit easier for me. I feel like than the yearly. This is really what I struggle with.
Yeah. So just one before you critique my team, me looking at my roster, my team one more time, like I kind of went with all young guys. I
Yeah.
mean, the oldest guy on my team is Tariq Hill.
Well, Goff is pretty old, right?
I think Tariq Hill's been in the league. Yeah, that they're the same draft class
Yeah.
actually. Golf and Tariq Hill is the same draft class. They're both my draft class
Yeah.
actually.
And we're getting old when Waddle's old, and like Jamar
Yeah.
Chase ain't a young buck either anymore. But
I mean, but these are still guys that
Yeah.
are under 7
Yeah.
years. Like
Yeah.
Tariq Hill, this would have been year 10 for me.
Yeah.
So Tariq Hill's 10, Jared Goff is 10. The rest of these guys, Devon Achane, 3rd year, DeAndre Swift, maybe 5th, 6th year.
yeah,
Jamar Chase, 5th, 6th year. Brian Thomas, 2nd year. Sam Laporta, 4th, 5th year. Jalen Waddle, 5th year. Mbuka rookie. Jake Ferguson, 3rd year. Rashad White, 3rd year. Keon Coleman, 2nd. Wandale
Yeah.
Robinson, like 4th. Jaceki like 8th year. Like I kind of went with a young team.
But yeah, I mean, I have no other than that. I have no critique other than like 2 Miami Dolphins wide receivers.
Yeah.
Because one of these guys is going to be getting the most work. I
Yeah.
don't hate that choice because you
Yeah.
could see through the first 3 or 4 weeks
Yeah.
which one of these guys is getting no work, and maybe you can get something for one of them by trading.
In my
Um,
opinion, only person that could screw me on this is if Brian Thomas has a sophomore year slump. Like
Yeah,
if he comes out and he's not on fire like he was last year, then that could screw me. I know Chase is going to do his thing, but maybe if Brian Thomas is not playing well, I could put old reliable Tariq Hill up there. So
yeah, and I guess the flip side is that is like you don't want to panic, right? Like
no.
if a guy has a first like 4 or 5 weeks that are just not good, maybe they're dealing with injury or whatever, personal problems. I don't think you should always just give up on guys. Maybe if it's a guy you like really feel strong about, I wouldn't just like put him on waiver wires
Yep.
and get somebody else. Just put him on the bench and maybe he'll come back to life. Especially guys who've done it in the past, right? Like
What's really shocking to me is like going to our teams. Like I got Jaceki in like almost the last round.
Mhm.
Like how did he just got paid. Once again, I like to say when players get paid, they play better. He just came off a decent tight end year last year. And guys like Travis Kelce went before him.
And
You
here's
know?
the thing, like the Bengals don't have a running back anymore. Like there's no more Joe Mixon, so he'll be throwing every down.
Yeah.
So I really don't
I
understand.
mean, they have Chase Brown, but I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. He's not a superstar. Like
Yeah, and I mean we played against 8 bots, and they're not the smartest bots in
Yeah,
the world, so
yeah.
I don't really know. But I would think like in a regular draft, he's not gonna be in the fit. I mean, I guess it's possible. I've seen it happen before.
yeah, no
It
doubt.
depends like the skill level of the people you're playing with, but Like I said, like maybe he's number 2 or 3 in targets on that team. I mean,
Yeah,
we've seen that their backups, when Chase goes out, like that offense is dead. Like
yeah.
there's nobody else. So he'll be getting a lot of red zone targets this year, and that's what you want. 6 points is better than 5 receptions. I always say that. So
I tell you what, I really like your late round pick, Khalil Shakir. He's
yeah,
really good, man. I'm
yeah.
telling you, he's really good.
I would have picked him earlier, but he just kept showing up. So I
Yeah.
was like, screw it. And Diggs too. Like I don't get why Diggs has fallen so
Well, it's
far.
because
Like
he's coming off an ACL.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
ACL and
Yeah.
Drake May's your quarterback. You know what I'm
Yeah, you're
saying? Like,
right.
no
Yeah, I
disrespect to Drake
guess.
May,
Yeah,
but it's like the
but I mean,
Patriot.
who else do they have? I mean,
Yeah, that's true too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, well, I guess they could get Terry McLaurin, but we'll see what
yeah,
happens. They were the number one, I think, for teams that would be most interested in them
yeah,
for obvious reasons. But I think I mean, I think we've covered this pretty well. I don't know if you have any other
yeah. Only thing I
comments
want
on
to
this
I
or
want to ask you is there anybody that you don't see on your team that you wish you would have got?
yeah, yeah, there is Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs is like, I mean, I had the number one overall pick, right? But I just feel like you can't give up on Chase. You
Yeah,
can't get
yeah,
like Chase, Jefferson, Gibbs, Bijan. Those are all like those got to go in the
yeah.
first four picks, you know. But I just went with Chase because I feel like he's gonna touch the ball more than Gibbs is probably. Maybe, because I'm lying because remember I told you they're moving
Yeah,
Gibbs to
yeah,
slot receiver,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he's gonna be on the field like 90% of the time. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Gibbs is going to get a ton of volume, but I can tell you, like, I think it was the right choice because every single like top 250, every single best drafts from Vegas, from like any of these top websites, you name it, you pick it. Jamar Chase, 8 out of 10 times is the top guy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that I mean I think that's just like when Cincinnati's coming to town that he's going to get thrown to by Joe Burrow 10 times in the
yeah,
first half.
yes,
And that's guaranteed.
yeah,
And that doesn't happen for anybody.
yeah,
I mean, maybe like Randy Moss and like Jerry
yeah,
Rice back in the day, but like nobody has a better rapport or connection wide receiver quarterback wide than Jamar Chase.
yeah, and Joe Burrow,
Yeah, so
no doubt.
but yeah, I think that's all we got. So if you guys like it, smash the subscribe button. We'll be back with our this week. The NFL preseason starts on Thursday, so we'll be running the show Monday, and the NFL preseason starts I think Thursday night. So look out for that. College football in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's amazing. Anybody college football you're looking forward to watching besides your alma mater?
I actually want to see how Texas does this year. My
Yeah.
my old head coach Kyle Flood is the offensive coordinator for Texas, and one of my great friends, Mike Belmonte, is the QB coach. I was talking to him last week. He has a ton of pressure on him. You know, he's got Arch Manning as his quarterback. So
I'm going to be watching a lot of Arch Manning this season.
yeah,
I think he's going to be phenomenal.
yep,
I'm really high on that kid, and also for me, it's go Navy. So I'll be watching. I'll be watching the Navy this. I'll be watching Navy this year. I'm hoping we can get some 200-pound linemen recruited in the offseason and perhaps run our option a little bit more efficiently.
yep.
So those are the big things. Any shout outs?
No, we're good.
All right, so we're gonna go have a little bit of fun,
Yep.
hang out in the bar, and you guys make sure you subscribe and check in next week. We'll be talking probably some college football next week
Yeah,
as we
let's
get
do it.
close to the season.
Yep.
We'll also have some early reads on preseason. Maybe we'll see some rookies getting some work, and we'll rethink some of these season longs. Hopefully, the pricing comes out for DraftKings and FanDuels for our weekly fantasy, so we can actually start mocking what our first weeks are going to look like. I actually know what mine's going to look like already. That's how
Yeah.
much of a nerd I am. I dream about it in bed at night. But smash the subscribe button. Click in either corner here if you want to watch our last episode or subscribe to our channel.
I also
Leonte.
want to say boo hoo to Cowboys fans. You might be losing Micah Parsons. Wah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we didn't talk about. We'll probably talk about it next week because there's definitely going to be more trade
Yeah.
requests as guys' contracts get down to that, 12th hour, 11th hour. And
You as an Eagles fan got to be excited about that.
Look, I don't. I look like I've always said. The NFC East is always going to be tough. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we shall see, and we will see in about a month here. So
Yep.
we'll see the real deal. So you guys have a great day, and hopefully your season long draft went better than ours. Peace out.
Peace out.